to force me onto this stage.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, so we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean the ones who scout—
And their goal was to
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epic, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Furina. Of course, this performance was only made. We had to select a location, construct a giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole—
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's part. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, all so that as soon—
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must— As for you, Traveler, you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage. Oh? It's fine. It matters not. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the—
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here— Oh, let Paimon see. Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first— I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the— This is the first time, Monsieur— A Fatui Harbin, the fortress of— According to the words of someone as a—
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come, just fast forward. Of course. It is only now—
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your— Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Furina's a fraud?
Hey,
Charge accepted. Lady Furina, do you plead guilty to the— Lady Furina.
I plead not guilty. There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Furina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine—
yeah,
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon See? Even the oratories have— If you wish to drop—
An argument with near—
Well, I tried. And if I was—
First of all, you may be—
Who gave you that idea? Was it the—
A curse. I once thought it possible that the aura of— But in light of this claim, perhaps—
Nervilette sensed it too, huh?
Lady Furina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority, one need only to turn their eyes toward...
That doesn't sound... You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Childe to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an...
Lady Furina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself
I never thought...
That was no trick of
So, you neither knew why Childe was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the
real Hydro Archon. Well, now you're really... It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict. You can't...
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses.
My pal...
If that poses a concern...
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or...
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons, thus did I give up.
Isn't that a huge...
Yeah, no matter how generous...
It seems like nobody's buying Furina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. I'm still the same Furina you knew, right? Please?
If what the prosecutor...
Did she deceive all of us?
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not... If you have no evidence...
Wow, she came up with yet... that doesn't sound... that doesn't... It has been
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can...
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary...
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this now. I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Furina, would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Furina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really...
Lady Furina, the...
Well, of course he had to tell her that.
She's just dead.
What's going on? Is she really...
Due to the inherent risk...
Hey! I'm fine! Look at me, Will you believe me?
Miss Siegewien? If you're present, Miss Siegewien, please come forward.
Siege?
Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds.
Please announce the
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Furina was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater.
Thank you, Miss Siegewien. Lady...
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. We don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Furina's life, it's a great thing that the direct sample was...
I can't... Listen to me, everyone! Think about it! Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water? Please, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your art...
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone who's stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Furina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's...
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct, then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an
Furina's been...
This outcome is indeed quite... Is this sentence really a...
Yeah! Even Vacher would...
Indeed. But now, the...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still...
Freminet! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top...
Is that the first first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged—
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some— But has the trial already concluded?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to— Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates.
Huh? So what do you see? What—
I believe I've now made
Huh? So when you say Hydro Archon—
In truth, everything— However, I'm uncertain—
Okay, let's try to— The first stone slate describes what you just said. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? The second stone slate shows— This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontaine— The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen. That doesn't sound quite—
We know from the— And the first— This might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve.
That doesn't sound quite right. That doesn't—
Perhaps the truth and the—
That doesn't sound quite right. That doesn't—
It's not as— When the— The prophecy— The if
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to— Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial. The eruption of the primordial sea at the stone slate's contents can all be verified. Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels—
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
We're—
All Fontainians were originally created by the late The evidence for that can be— Oh, and according to Navia—
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first— That could also explain—
The Hydro Archon's true sin.
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to—
Yeah, so wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, However, while you were able to decode all the information when we were at the ruins, I tried to— Now that the slate collection is complete—
What?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly sum your hypotheses regarding the Fontaine of old. The previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydra. However, even though not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiar. She poured primordials, but if Fontanians were to ever... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is...
That's way too much information. Wait, but if that's the truth...
This really might be...
Alas, your hypothesis regarding a key point of the visual, they have not been The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well. You may also recall Navia's experience. Therefore, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes.
I think I'm following now. In truth,
What should we... If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy about the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption... However, I believe that as for the root cause of the catastrophe... This eruption was just a small war...
It was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial...
The truth, the original sin, the trial.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale?
So we've met it at last. I understand that whale it has been greedily and once it has finished...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created
Precisely. That whale... Therefore, when it left the primordial sea...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again, once it's...
That is correct. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long...
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could note... Even if the entire...
We've already done... We've come so...
Indeed.
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Justice Ultimate.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Furina! No, I still need answers.
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Furina.
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalors. You know, the god.
Focalors.
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. The heavenly prince.
Deceiving the...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, she knew full well that... And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that... One defies the heavenly prince. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. I had to outwit. I'm a genius, I know. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by...
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me she could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, her strengths, but in my eyes, Furina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, all part of the plan, of course. Do you still remember the final scene of the in order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalors' divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the... Instead, I suppose now you probably understand...
But Furina is only human, even though she has had a lot... I can't...
It has indeed. And it's been 5, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and...
wanted you to come onto the stage. Now, I understand. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Oh, do not jest. I am Focalors, the Eye. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Swift and merciful. Barely a scratch. Very quick.
This may turn. Grow. Yep, hold the line.
Let's get it on. Forth, my blade.
This may turn a little.
Submit for judgment.
You asked for it.
Grow. Allow me. Commit it to memory.
Look alive. Hi.
Grow.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
My blade.
Wakula.
This may turn a little.
Spirit blade. Attack.
Allow me.
One with my blade.
Grow.
From whence you came.
You're dead meat.
This may turn a little.
Forth. But how? Swift and merciful. Forth.
Grow.
Let's get it on. Hi.
Furina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid.
Wait a moment. You're... Mirror me? How... Mirror me.
The prophecy.
What prophecy? The people will all be dissolved into the water.
Oh.
What?
Yes.
But doesn't that mean everyone will...
I will tell you how to say...
Oh. As for... But if there were...
I suppose this would...
Huh?
Don't worry. It's nothing.
Play at...
That's right. If you can keep it...
But...
Don't worry. Being a human, remember...
So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish, but I promise you, all will...
A trial. The Maison Cardinalise has announced my what should I say? I'm sure you've all heard about. In truth, I know that as the god Focalor, once again, this, I thought I might.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison back puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as human. Calm down, Furina. Think. What do assertive, with a strong sense of presence. Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet... Well, you may consider my... Now then!
So that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be the scales of may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and there is no so long as I...
Lady Furina, here are today's case.
Besides,
if... That's true,
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Furina, I don't know what to do.
No need to thank me. All right.
He's too...
Lady Furina.
I see. It's as I thought then. All manner. Really?
I'm...
The day is finally over. But it's good to... Maybe this is fun.
Lady Furina, here are the...
They'll be...
Lady Furina.
Indeed, my dear.
Lady Furina, we're detecting significant...
Understood. I just... don't... I feel utterly...
Lady Farina. It's like a dream being able to speak with you. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame d'Auterre.
What? Are you crying?
Really? This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the
No, what?
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed. I never imagined, have I? I want to tell so I've conducted. All I can do is keep heart.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden, although I don't know what you...
Share. That's impossible.
But even if you're burdened, just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness. And if to that... He's right. I could confide in him, couldn't, but... If things don't play out as expected... No, Farina. You shouldn't be selfish. But what if... Farina, is it such an... If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, think about it. Long and hard. No, I have nothing to say. I am... All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my...
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, she did very well. If she had it seems that trusting
I believe that I understand how your deception... How would you build...
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed... I'm sure you've long...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human... It now seems that
And then I became one with the Oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes. Alas, in truth, it is no Oh, you have it. My work over these... But really, the vast majority had to be...
It was all a part of your plan.
Indeed. This power accrued over 5 centuries, but only...
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalors. The destruction of that divine throne.
Returning what's right. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro... No, what? Getting sad again are the authority of the...
All you've done through...
I've never quite... Hydro Dragon, I must say, had it been within my right, Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And I, for my part, am the... Speaking of justice... I have always believed that... So, if the theft of the primordial seas then, leaving matters of procedural right... In other words, defying the prophecy, and at this point, Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign.
So when I was invited at last, in the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living, you are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection?
But since we're all still alive and haven't...
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that...
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be...
I have gained the strength sufficient. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our Traveler. Now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me meet at the root of the collapse. Come with me, Traveler. From within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together. I can feel
for
This thing, rest and read it. Look alive. Hi. Grow.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility, and a chance will present itself. I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Submit for
This may hurt a little. This was unwise. Hold the line.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but it was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would.
That power.
It's just that he has the impression that
I simply did not. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. That kind of power is weak. All in all.
Miss Skirk?
The point.
Well, so what sort of person is your master? Well, child's master's master.
Oh, right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Sir Taloji.
I am unfamiliar.
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous.
The foul?
Still nothing.
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhine-Dodger's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. But I suppose you understand.
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary?
Actually, never mind that the all-devouring, such roiling hide as such. In other words.
What?
Not to worry.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Scans, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you right?
Yeah.
We're saved.
The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. The Sweena Rasul old soil can still Skyship Winglet. The various disputes that have arisen, people always call the first. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoops lie. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created.
Paimon's curious too!
And that's exactly why.
Are you sure?
Oh, this time we'll.
Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represents... Our residents are hard at work as well.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours, but if you don't mind...
I get where you're coming from.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the...
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it. I'm sure you can...
I see you're this...
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then everyone who...
Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence. Also, not to
Wow, you really do have...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview.
Whoa, you're well in...
That's a...
In truth, I told him that it was best...
You're right. I've got...
Stay safe now. And tell me...
again, huh? There's a real nostalgic...
Looks like you've been missing it.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored...
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so...
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier,
Sir, please don't say things like...
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it.
No, I just...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Ed, the boat that brought about... Still, if I might add...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the...
Really?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos...
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like...
see...
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Sure.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the...
Same old,
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I decided to...
You're too kind, sir.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh?
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's...
Oh,
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave...
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it...
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? All right. Last stop, the docks. Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with...
Traveler, Paimon. And Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget? It's a wondrous bag. Trick a friend. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine? To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have you...
Sure.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. Father says that you did a great deal.
That's a...
Oh, I guess you have after Lady Farina.
A diplomatic gift? A no-sense?
Yes, it could have been done as an Furthermore...
that's true.
I would agree. I suspect you'll have...
But back to the top.
They say that he's returned to Snezhn.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run...
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know?
Are you going to take the gnosis?
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with switching my masks. Is something. Well, that depends on many things. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello?
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like. The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled...
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon.
You two move things about?
That's right. I guess this must be... All right, then.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see what Nicolette's doing? The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neuvillette! I didn't think you were going to have...
Really? Oh, I suppose you must. In any case, you came at a good...
Aw, Paimon! Alright, let's have it! Whoa. So that's what Focalors destroyed. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did.
For me, the Fontanians were but so long as though... In other words, when I...
Focalors must have counted on... Yeah!
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself. Unlike ancient, Natlan is also the... There is one other piece, the Harbinger known as the Captain.
The Captain.
I suggest that you fully prepare your... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question. When we spoke to Lyney earlier, we guessed that there might...
No. So regarding this specific issue, In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head to...
What next?
I can finally It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. But with something very similar. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know.
You should have the
Remains?
Huh.
Well, that much is true. But I fear I have never heard...
I've been training with... It is only natural for the... Regardless, you should probably... To live in itself is a blessing.
What do you mean by...
No need...
This third descent...
Master, if you're interested, though, I could...
Next time, you believe we will meet...
I do.
That's what she told.
The remains of... So that's what the...
All the same, assuming...
And she said that...
If she speaks the truth... I guess that you might already... That means that the Gnosi... I wonder... Does your...
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision! That does sort of count as special compatibility. No, like comparing the Traveler to the dead Third Descender and all. That's what you say, but...
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses.
Alright. Whatever the case, it's...
Yes.
But... she...
I suppose that would be the mystery. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes, life flows like... And what ultimate...